Hey third graders, welcome to Module 5, Lesson 15. We are 15/30ths of the way through our fraction unit. So today we're going to place any fraction on a number line with the endpoints 1 and 0. So we're going to be making a number line today and just looking between 0 and 1. So, you guys already know a number line shows the distance between numbers. So if we had our number line of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it shows us our distance. Remember, on a number line, we want to try to make all of our intervals as equal as possible. I made mine, they're a little bit too big, so I'd want to make it about this same size if I was using a pencil, and I could fix it. And today we're going to zoom in on this space right here in between the 0 and the 1, because there's actually numbers between 0 and 1, and those are our fraction numbers that we've been learning about in class. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I'd like you guys to get out your thirds from your fraction kit and line them up like mine, and then press pause and press play when you're ready. Now that you have your thirds lined up, I'd like you guys to draw a line underneath your thirds a little distance away, but really I just want your line to be about as long as your thirds. So I'm going to draw a little mark here to show where my thirds start. And then I'm going to draw a line slowly and carefully all the way to the end of my thirds. And I'm going to draw a little tick mark at both ends. Then I want you to label your tick marks 0 and 1. So we're going to be looking at that space between 0 and 1 on our number line. Go ahead and do all this and press pause and press play when you're done. Okay, let's say that I asked you guys to locate the point 2/3 on a number line. So if we think about 2/3, we hear that word thirds, which sounds like a denominator, and we're going to find 2/3 on the number line. So where would 2/3 be? You guys already know that with your fraction kit that this would be 2/3 right here, but how would I show that on the number line? Because with our fraction kit, it looks like 1/3, 2/3 would be like somewhere around here, but where do we actually put our dot to show where 2/3 is on a line? So these are like those problems where you had a friend with a piece of licorice and you wanted to divide it between you and two other friends, and so you had to like cut the licorice. So if you wanted 2/3, you would have to cut it at the end of 2/3. So we would put our 2/3, so go ahead and line up your thirds on your number line, and we're actually going to put our dot at the end of where 2/3 is. So we're going to put it right here at the end of 2/3. So it's kind of like little Ninja Man. He's walking along the line, hoi-ya, hoi, oi, oi, doing a little flip, whatever ninjas do, and he gets to 1/3 right here. So go ahead and put a little tick mark at the end of 1/3. So now he has traveled 1/3 of the way down the line. And so this right here wouldn't be 1/3 if he had traveled here, because he hasn't traveled the entire distance of 1/3. So you cannot put the mark to show where the fraction is until you get to the end of that amount of the fraction. So he has traveled 1/3 of the way down the line. Now, if he wants to travel 2/3 of the way down the line, he's got to travel and walk the whole entire way until he gets to the end of the next third. And then we can put our line there to show where the end of the second 1/3 is. So now that you guys have labeled those, now we can go ahead and add some more labels to our number line. Oh, thank you for walking me down the line. All right, so here we have 0, and we're going to write our fractions on the top today, or we have 0/3. And then from here to here, go ahead and take your finger, and your finger's now like the ninja, and we're going to trace it down the line. And when we get here, what do we get? Good, we went 1/3 of the way down the line. And now from here to here, then we have 2/3. We're not done yet. We haven't gone all the distance. And if we go here, how many thirds have we walked? We've walked all 3 of our thirds. So we've gone 3/3 of the way down. So just comparing it to your fraction kit. Okay, so there we go. And now all we're gonna do is put a dot where 2/3 is, so make it more obvious. And then we're gonna draw a number bond to show what we just did. So we had one whole, and we walked 2/3 of the way. And then Ninja had 1/3 of the way left to go. Let's try some more. This time we're not going to use our fraction kit because you're not always going to have that when you are doing number lines. So I'd like you guys to draw this on your notes. So you're going to draw your number line from 0 to 1, and you're going to write 0, oops, and I just noticed my mistake. This is going to be 0/5, and it's going to be 5/5 here. I was still thinking thirds, I think. Okay, so you guys are going to write this on your paper, press pause, and press play when you're done. So we're going to locate the point 3/5 on a number line. So I hear that word fifths, and so I know that that's in my denominator. So I have fifths, and I have 3 of them. So 3/5 on a number line. So I have 0 to 1, and now I'm going to divide it up into fifths. So remember, just like when we're making our lines for our rectangles, how if I wanted to make fifths, I would draw 4 lines. That's what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to make 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and do that. Press pause and press play when you're done. So how do we know that we actually divided this up into fifths? So you can still kind of like imagine that we have, actually I'll just draw it as a normal line. We can still kind of imagine that we have our fraction strips right here, and like there's the missing top part of the fraction strips. And so it's the space in between the lines that you're counting when you're counting on a number line. So here I've got 1 piece, 2 pieces, 3 pieces, 4 pieces, 5 pieces of licorice. So we count those spaces in between. Now let's go ahead and label our fifths. So here we have 0 or 0/5, and then we have, and trace your finger with me, and what do we have at the first one? How much distance have we traveled? We've traveled 1/5. Now if we keep going and we travel another fifth, how far have we gone? 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 5/5, or 1 whole is already labeled. But we're not done because it said to locate the point 3/5 on the number line. So go ahead and put a circle or a dot where the 3/5 is. And we're going to put it right here. And now let's make our number bond. So our 1, we have 3/5 over here. And how many fifths did we not walk? So we walked 1, 2, 3, but we did not walk 1, 2 of our fifths. Let's try another. Okay, please write this down on your notes. Press pause and press play when you're ready. Okay, getting started. We notice that we're going to locate 2/4 on our number line. So when we hear that, our fraction is 2/4. So fourths is on the bottom and 2 is on the top. So 2 out of 4 equal pieces. Okay, so we're trying to find 2/4. So let's get ourselves organized. What are you going to do that? Go ahead and try it. Press pause and press play when you're done. All right, so first you should have divided your number line into fourths. We know if we're doing fourths, we're going to draw 3 lines. We also know that our trick with fourths is that we divide it in half, and then we cut each half in half again. And then we have some pretty equal fourths, as close as we can get it without a ruler. And now we're going to label our fourths. If you haven't labeled your fourths yet, press pause and press play. Let's do this. So 0/4, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, or 1 whole. Now let's draw our number bond after we put our 2/4 on there. So where is 2/4? right there. And then our number bond is 1, and we had 2/4 on this side. And then how many fourths do we have left over to walk? 1, 2. How does the number bond relate to the number line? We'll talk about that more in class, so think about it. You ready for your final problem? So please locate the point 3/6 on the number line. Divide your number line up into sixths. Don't forget to put your 0/6 and your 6/6. And then draw a number bond to represent when you had 3/6 over here, how much more of the distance did you have to walk? All right, you guys, good job. We'll see you tomorrow.